Session 7 begins, and probably, hope, the end. Might not be, though. I wonder if there's clues on this newspaper. The Butler County Times. The name of the newspaper's right there. Didn't even look at it. Let's get going. Let's regard the board. Is this... Is this important? Pip Montjoy, Royston. Hey, Pip Gittens took her name. Is this important? Right, girl. Let's regard the board. Alright, I'm pretty sure about her. So there's a 1. We're missing Elias C's wife. Edward Roottrees' wife. Jim's kids. And Robert Roottrees' job. So, and Miracle's wife, which we could probably get by process of elimination. Like Helen Lennon or Joan Monroe, we can just put names in there until we notice. We can just do that to see if it comes off. Alright, so how are we going to find these kids' names? So, I need all 4 of them. I need all 3 of them to go. John Monroe. March, April. Just for the fun of it. Alright, we gotta find names of them. Let's go to the periodicals. Music Monthly. Jim Roottry. See if we can find some names. Them. Music. Roland. Raffertunes. I don't know if I ever searched for Raffertunes. I might have. Highlighted it. Business Watch. No. Spider Search. Rafferty LaRue's advertising firm. On it. There's an about page. Oh, Rafferty or LaRue? That's them. Okay, I searched for this before. What root trees do we have? Candy and Wolf Root Tree. I can just search for this. No. I'm not clear on the EC stuff. I'm jumping around too much. Like, I'm not sure I've cracked this yet. We had music names. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's move my camera for a bit. Teen Blast still has some information. Da 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 da. Grandma Laura. Did I not go in? I did go in. Why is there a 1 there? What else has numbers in it? Are they all listed to the top? Rolling Down in the City. Alright. Rolling Down in the City was barely a top 20. I'm reading this again. Such a long time ago. Let's move this. Economic inflation, civil unrest in the Middle East, unless pop culture tricked them into caring. The only great concept of a live stream can make disco this sweet. Alright, so they're children. Diamond LaRue. There's no clues in this. It says there's no clues. I gotta touch. I gotta. So Peter Janowitz. Did I search for him? I think I have. Fan website about a band unrelated to the Roottrees. So the magazine went under. Janowitz. For a great many reviews and articles for Modern Music Monthly, you don't see anything relevant anywhere in the first few pages, but there are too many results to look through them all. If you're looking for specific album names or artist names, you may have better luck searching for those instead. Diamond LaRue. The LaRue sisters, their great uncle's record label. The Lucky LaRues. Alright, let's try that. Same one. Now he's passed. There's no moving to bigger. Sorry, I'll read it. Jumping around. It's listed as the Talent for Hire site as a wedding singer. Way down the credit section is her biography. It mentions she got her start as a young girl when she was Jane LaRue, the Lucky LaRues. It also mentions only to contact your agent in the event that you wish to hire her. I've read this. Back. Jane Vecchio is... I think it's a clue that she's not married anymore. From a role on Broadway, taking over for the children in Oliver. Maybe she's in this one? No. Kim LaRue, Diamond LaRue. Jim LaRue, Jim Roottrees. Oh, seems to have left Butler County by the time Jim and Diamond gained notoriety. The only article you find is from 1979, and the article is titled Former Butler County Resident Enters Disco Charts. The article came out as Rollin' On Down to the City was hitting its peak popularity. There isn't much... Copy this. Ah. There isn't much to the article other than what you already know, but it does mention that at the time Jim and Diamond had a 2-year-old daughter named Candy. The writer of the article did not seem thrilled to report this fact and called the name a bit too on the nose. Have I read this before? Alright, so Candy's the oldest probably. I did for that. Where am I going to find their pictures? That's the question. Candy LaRue. Oh, Wolf LaRue. Something about sun. Where was it? Oh! It doesn't say there's no clues here. There blazed a spark of light that ever brightly shone from her starting days, imparting wisdom to conquer life unknown. Though someday she'd depart, I'd never be alone. In my heart I'll always be son of Cherry Tree.
There blazed a spark of light that ever brightly shone from her starting days, imparting wisdom to conquer life unknown. Though someday she'd depart in part, I'd never be alone. In my heart I'll always.
Why is it called Sun? I don't have pictures of Candy LaRue. Oh! I'm writing LaRue. Crap. Team Blast. Where did I get this? Named Candy. Bit too on the nose. Where am I gonna find? Have I been searching for Candy LaRue and not Candy Roottrees? They don't seem to be married. Is Dead here? These two. Let's read the things. Brother Trouble cancelled. How to know if he's interested. Win a trip to the set of a new movie. Raina Sweet 16. The girl, Candy Girl gets serious about her inspirations and aspirations. I'm not allowed to use this picture again, right? No. Where am I gonna find these pictures? Periodicals. Monthly. Jim. Roottrees. And this is it. CNJJ&D copy. Nope. A section of the magazine called Skip It. A section of the magazine called Skip It or Flip It has short, pithy blurbs about the new record. An album called These Times is listed as Skip It. These Times, a new single from our property, Jim Roottrees and the Two Little Sisters. Amateur folk style songwriting. It's catchy at times, but ultimately doesn't do anything new. Same thing. Spider search these times. Oh, I've already seen this. Scan the cover, noted. $200. Apparently, this was Jim Roottrees. Track is also available. What's that? These times here. No clues. Catchy at times. Where am I gonna find pictures of them? Same thing. What is the name of their band? The Diamond, Jim and Diamond. I can search for that. Did I read this? Is a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond, his wife Diamond LaRue. The duo, according to many sources you find, is considered a one-hit wonder. I think I read this. Although Jim writes the majority of songs, now he's supposed to be the band's singer. Diamond Dazzlers. Alright, I'm gonna look for this. The rest of their music is for folksy and acoustic than the one song they were known for. Jim and Diamond have continued to release music through the 80s. Alright, Cherry Tree and the Sound of... Did I not search for this? Pretty sure I searched for this one. Bit of a recluse. Let's look for this. Oh! Wolf! Haha! Diamond Dazzler is the name of the official fan club for Jim and Diamond. You find a forum post called Cool Things You Got in the Mail on a random forum about video games. One reply mentions that Jim and Diamond still send out a Christmas card every year to Diamond's Dazzlers. It accompanied by some pictures as well as some history about the fan club. Apparently, even though there is no longer available to join, Jim and Diamond still honor it themselves personally. There's a fierce debate in the subsequent post about whether that's cool or pathetic. Amongst the pictures of Christmas cards from other years, only one is relevant. The card from 1996 with pictures of Jim and Diamond's young son, Wolf, as well as a note about his daughter's band, the Floozies. Alright. I'm gonna copy this. Pictures have been added to your evidence. Where are you? Picture of son Wolf listening to the latest music. Say he's a student. Candy Roottrees is a musician. Let's search for the Floozies. Oh. An all-female punk band operating out of New York City. They're mentioned in passing in an online review from earlier this year. Apparently they were opening an act for the band. The reviewer actually came to see. The reviewer writes that she normally doesn't review the opening act, but this one was unusual, and not because of the music, which she described as loud, fast, and repetitive, but not in the good way. The trio was extremely cagey about their identities. The reviewer asked the venue who they were, and she was told they were rumored to be the children of other famous musicians and didn't want that to be why they became popular. The reviewer also mentioned that for an underground and unknown band with absolutely no following, their equipment was all extremely expensive, and not only were they selling CDs, but they only cost $1. They probably were losing a fortune. The reviewer said that although she bought a copy, she would be unlikely to ever listen to any of it again, except maybe Beef Baby. The seventh track, there's no picture of the floozies. But the cover of the CD they were selling, Conquistador, interesting, has been added to your evidence. The floozies, guitar vocals Candy. Alright. Bass Nikki, drums Nina. Okay, do I have I have them as a hairdresser. I'm afraid to put their picture in because it'll go off. So I'm going to look at the other music first. I don't know what happens when you finish the game. Although, is Robert really a hairdresser? Is that just in my subconscious? I don't know. Let's look for Beef Baby. Beef Baby, a song by the Floozies. You can't find anything else about it anywhere, but with a name like that, it's hard not to speculate on the subject matter, isn't it? Could it be a euphemism about a newborn cow, or perhaps the Floozies are holding a grudge against a toddler? Certainly piques your curiosity. If only you had the time or resources to look into it further. Conquistador. Yeah, same. Same. Let's go back. The Sound of Laughter. I don't know if I ever searched for this. Now by Jim Reith, 1989. You can't even find a single picture of the cover. It doesn't appear to have been very successful, and reviews seem middling, even for fans. Some basic liner notes exist on a Jim Roottrees fan page, and it states that the lyrics and guitar are credited to Jim Roottrees and the vocals are credited to Diamond LaRue. Alright. Alright, so now I'm really annoyed. Oh, Guy Hudson's spouse. Okay, so Robert Roottrees is the last thing, but let's see if we can find some issues about maybe little clues I missed. Guy Hudson. Guys, Angie and Christopher. Zach, let's go to saying. How about this? Other Hunting Times, Guy Hudson. Crash. Although the Butler Cat does not archive their obituaries, they did a front page story in 1982 about Guy Hudson and his wife Patricia. Did I guess Patricia? I did. Hey, look at that. The story itself is surprisingly light on relevant details due to the recency of the accident. Police reported that the crash was caused by an unidentified driver who swerved in front of the Hudson's car, causing them to brake hard and veer off the interstate. Although Guy was a somewhat controversial president, foul play is not suspected. There were witnesses who reported that the vehicle which instigated the wreck was speeding, swerving between lanes, and cutting other drivers off, as well for at least 5 or 6 minutes before the tragic accident. One witness says, "It could have been any one of us who they eventually ran off the road." The aggressor fled after the accident. The police have few leads other than the make and model. Guy had been president of Roottrees Company for only 4 years. Though an undoubtedly volatile period in the company's history, he and his wife have no children. Alright, so that gets that done. How are we going to find this stuff? Okay. Let's look at the history. Where is the printer? Holiday Light Poster Banner, Miracle Network, Roottrees Motors, Butler County School District, Butler Summer Theater. I search for Stephanie Jones' campaign. No. Search. I think I read this already. Yeah, I read this already. I can search for this. Alright, I read this. Does it say his wife at the birth rate? Miracle Jr. arrived and became a famous. He unburdened himself. Wait, I did have a search for Miracle Jr.? Same. Same. Uh, Alright, so I was gonna go to Business Watch. I forgot his name already. Elias Roottrees. Elias C. Roottrees. I think it's a nickname. How about just Elias Roottrees? Although anything you find in the first pages of results are the same types of things you can find with basic internet, he invented 5 pieces. Watchman of the Year and a strong focus on family. Yeah. Mark Roottrees. Andy Roottrees. Team Blast. Crap. Roottrees advertising. How did I know he was advertising? Was there a name of the company? I think there was, and I've forgotten what it is. Great. Great. How am I? Well, there is a chance I got these right. Let's search for these. Joan Monroe. Oh, April Corrich. Spell it right? Did. Helen Lennon. No. Periodicals. Forest. Oh, how about Miracle Roottrees? Miracle Tree and his son, who goes by Miracle Jr., have appeared in the Butler County Times a great deal over the years. The Miracle Network, which is a collection of churches, television shows, and products that can be purchased, has multiple advertisements in each issue. You do find one article mentioning legal troubles. Unfortunately, it's a throwaway line in an article about a tour they plan to take across the southern United States called the Three Generations of Miracles Tour. I think that's the picture I got. The author speculates they're going on tour to leave their legal troubles behind. Because of all the advertisements, the results in the Butler County Times are not particularly relevant to your search. Any attempts to find more about these legal troubles is thwarted. Yeah, same. Same. Who committed a crime? I think he's the one that tried to get them out. What is your job, sir? This is the court case, is him, I think. Let's look for Edward Rootree. He has a unique name. Damn it. Alright, Starlet. Let's go to Robert Rootree. No! Damn it. Alright, we're back on Gwyn. Cornwall, but Rootree has more power. Miles is similar. Um, Alright, let's go back to Butler County Times. Linus Cornwall. Nothing. Starlet. Oh, I found his real name, right? Will Walter Forsyth. I think I read this. Republic. She's notable. Didn't highlight these or search for them. Search. So the Christmas Mission is on a page called Flops. It was a war movie about World War I released in 1955 that received poor reviews and lost studio money. Gwyn Rootree had a role as a soldier's wife who wrote him letters from home. Find no additional relevant information. The movie was marketed as an incredible true story, but no record of the events happening has ever been found. That's not good. I think I searched for this already. Robert Rootree, Paris. Paris. What's going on? Robert Rootree, Paris. Oh. Go back to Harrison Lane. What's the other girl's name? Leslie Florence. Now, I'm sure I can brute force this, but do I want to? That's the question. There's got to be some information about this. Rootree Candy, Rootree Trust versus RR. Was that it? Yeah, I gotta look at my history. Where was it? But the regards to class trust. R attempted to unsuccessfully remove fellow family member from the trust. Who said it was that R attempted two arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock. Second, they committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. The one where they think they killed Guy? Is that it? Is that what's happening? They committed a significant crime against a fellow family member, but due to the ironclad wording of the Clans of Trust, it was impossible to remove any direct descendant. Well, can I search for RR? Roottrees versus RR. The problem with this intuition board is that it could indicate the people that I have. 1 and 1. Oh, maybe this is kind of telling me I got it right. Conquistador. Team Blast again. I got this. Where am I going to find information about Robert Roottrees? I'm going to find information about Miracle. I don't know if intuition counts for the sub people. Not it. With his wife, Nicole. Let's go to search Miracle Roottrees. Wife? Too good to be true. Wow, this again. I'm really worried about this envelope because all I can find out is that she might actually be his son, his daughter. Let's see. Edward Roottrees. Oh, they said there was an article where they said his name backwards. Give me a spider search. It was over here. This one. Lions hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Farmhand called EC. Like this. Da, 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 da. Why EC all of a sudden again? Ah! Let's go back. Uh, okay. We read this before. Da, 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 da. Well, Bill started. It was. I still haven't found where I mentioned that Edward married somebody weird, and I must have made it up in my mind. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock. Uh, all right, this one. I would say I saw Eli in town, and I would know which one they meant. My brother, my uncle, my cousin. That's why they became Uncle Junior, or Miracles Eli, or Eli C. All right. Or Gwyneth and Caroline. Who was Elias's mother? Women's names tend to get all mixed up. Even the government had problems. Once receiving for Edward Clancy Roottrees. Yeah, it doesn't like this. Oh no, where am I gonna find... Okay. You are elusive. Where's that picture of them? Couldn't make the reunion. Wishing you well from Paris. Gwyn and the boys. Huh. What does he do? I can't find anything about him. Do you have any names left? No, they're all taken. Is this like process of elimination for these people? What is Robert Roottrees? Like, am I meant to just put in random... he was a director. Okay, let's go back to the Brother Trouble. Okay. Played by stand-up Penelope Tessa Green. Otherings. Ron Roottrees. Search. Head of RR Productions. What? Let me search for it. Search. Defunct production company responsible for Brother Trouble. You find a comment. Stating that Brother Trouble ended up being an ironic name considering that rumors about our productions Ron and Robbie Roottrees. Robbie Roottrees. Aha! It's Robbie! Here we go. There's not much relevant information about Robbie Roottrees in a comment thread on a message board About television cliches, you find a thread called "Why was Brother Trouble cancelled?" One user speculates. I think it's because the writing went really downhill in season 2. They actually had an episode where Roxy was addicted to sniffing markers. Another person, maybe it's due to the rumor about Robbie Roottrees in Silver Screen magazine. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Here we go. There's a link to some kind of article, but it appears to be dead. Okay, spell it right. Spelling test. Productions. Gwyn. Is it just Silver Screen? Ron Roottrees. Oh, Robbie Roottrees in Silver Screen magazine. Did I mean Silver Screen magazine? Scum-sucking motherfuckers. I'm gonna bleep that out. A small rumors article from 1992 that claims that television screenwriter Robbie Roottrees, was allegedly tried and convicted under the name Robert in a French court of law. Wait, was it one brother suing the other brother? Ah. And he was born out of wedlock because they got divorced. It seems he, again, allegedly embezzled from the company, our productions to fuel a gambling habit that left him hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. He then fled to Paris, where he grew up, and then Silver Screen continues to insist that this is all very much allegedly, assaulted an officer who came up to question him. The article's author says they were unable to get a statement from French authorities, but received information from an anonymous source and were able to confirm through public record that there was a trial involving Robert Roottrees around the time that Brother Trouble was cancelled. Alright, so this is the thing. Alright, let's see if I can get other things in here. Alright. Walter Forsyth. Ron Roottrees. Don't blame nepotism. Don't blame nepotism. He gets results after finding some small screen success. First as director for many soap opera episodes, and then stepping in as the showrunner to turn around a few struggling productions. Ron has decided to start his own television production company. Ron was born in the US but grew up in Paris with his once famous mother and his brother Robbie, who gobbled up American cinema whenever he could, and when he was old enough, returned to Hollywood to attend film school. He brings a special kind of charisma and an eye for unusual shots, particularly when it comes to comedy. Those he's worked with have gone on record as saying he's an attentive director who can work with actors to make sure the timing of a joke lands perfectly. Ron plans to pitch new shows to major television studios as soon as 1986. Until then, he plans to find the right project. He has occasionally called upon his younger brother for script punch-ups and has thought about bringing them into the fold. Okay, he's a screenwriter. Alright. Wait, now there's 50? It was 49 a second ago. Oh, I got them. Haha, I guessed right. Oh yeah. Alright. Top secret.
To my genealogy genie.
Yeah.
If you're reading this, it means you've locked in 49 blood relatives. Congratulations. I knew you could do it. There are 2 more entries on the family tree I'd like you to consider. These last 2 are optional. You can summon me whenever you wish. However, this will end your search and reveal the truth. So make sure you're ready.
Oh, really? I'm not sure. I have no ideas. This is Mr. Miller. Oh, shit, I almost clicked confirm by accident. Oh no. Well, that's... Where are they? Oh, clever girl. I don't know. Miller. I don't have much information about EC. Okay, let's reread the journal. The girl came up to him and said, "You're my dad." It was her. They look alike. They're the same person? But yeah, but the thing is, they can't be in the same picture at the same time. I didn't get much information about this. I'm not sure. Uh, Alright, Maple Farms. They called? As of way at the beginning. Anderson Maples. Eliza Gwyneth Anderson. Yeah, that was Barnes, like she married before life. Such appliances. Search for that. Same article. Look for Anderson Maple Farm. Same. I've got no intuitions. Where was the original one? Gwyneth, Elias, Edward Clancy. I don't remember his name. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's already 5 here. So this is EC. Egg cream. Valuable. It's inspired by the children. Grape, Gwyneth. Gwendolyn. Elias. EC. Clancy Edward. And Marguerite. Twin brothers? Why? Why? He was disowned because he was gay. How am I going to find information about this? Okay, let's look at the... How could they not recognize that it looks exactly like Edward Clancy Edward? Lives are always unusual. Grandpa Elias was a believer. Glynis's fathers were named Edward and Clancy, so now you see where my pops get his name from. One thing that's always been consistent in our family, though, is that anytime someone's a junior, they're always the firstborn son. She was dirty and did not have a pretty dress. Me and Pop walked home and she hugged him. When I told her he was my pop, she pushed me. I got angry and yelled. Treat her nice. Okay, they're twins, but why? What had happened? They said your pop is my dad. She screamed it loud in my ear. She was lying to me, and lying is not a nice thing. Pushed away the pop, took her. But not to worry, I'm glad she is gone. Where's EC mentioned? Alright, Pop warned us away. No, it's before this. Patricia, the daughter of a local steel mogul, she became pregnant, and after the birth, her father refused to let her see Eli Jr. ever again. Her baby Samantha was sent to the Roottrees. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Elias hid her away with a local farm known as EC. She was married off to a much older man and sent away, and that was the end of that almost. None of the gems, next gens, have ever met her, Patricia. Okay, they're twins, but where can I get the story? Something Miller. We never met EC in person. Ah, okay, so they don't recognize him. But Pop once referred to him as a confirmed bachelor. I suspect that's why he kept us from there. A house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. I think this is right. But I'm worried if I do it and it's wrong, I'll be like, I ruined the game. And is Mr. Miller good enough? Okay, I'll try for another minute to see if I can find anything about Miller. This is not do I have any notes about a Miller? Let's look. No, I'm not finding anything about Miller. Oh, I didn't look for the Mayan ruby skull. Alleged proof, but red is shaped that is supposedly a cave painting from South America. According to legend, discovered beneath the paintings were bones from hundreds of different people and animals. One site also mentions that the photographer who took the picture died when their boat capsized after crashing into a skull-shaped rock. Amongst the spinning skull gifts, you find no sources of verifiable details to back up any photos or claims. To you, the blurry photo looks more like an egg than a skull. Didn't even print the picture. Alright, I don't know. I think I'm right. Let's do it. There's one final optional entries you found. What? That's wrong? Oh, it's right. But Mr. Miller's not his name.
So, you thought EC was Edward Clancy Roottrees? And had a guess for his partner? Partial credit.
Boo!
I'm Sam Madsen, though you know me as Samantha Roottrees. Yup, I got old. The only picture you have of me is from 40 years ago. My book tells the truth about Elias, the 5 pieces, and my parents. Not my biological parents, Elias Jr. and Patsy. My fathers. Edward Clancy Roottrees and John Miller.
I said Mr. Miller.
By now, you've either read Lauren's diaries, or you're just an incredible guesser.
Are there more diaries?
Lauren was right. I hated the 5 pieces. She just didn't know my full reasoning. My father, Edward Clancy, was a great man. But his identical twin Clancy and his father, Elias, were not. At age 16, my father was caught kissing a farmhand. Back then, they wouldn't even acknowledge gay people existed. Having one in the family was unthinkable. The same year, I was born. A bastard granddaughter. 2 stains on Elias's perfect family. He decided to fix both. They tried to erase Edward Clancy. They even removed his 5 pieces flavor. His name was deemed a dirty word. He became EC. We were sent to the farm, and the 5 pieces did their best to keep the next generation away, to isolate me from family. But Elias couldn't erase us from existence. Laura never realized I was the little girl from her diary.
I did. How did you get John Miller? My head's in the way.
Who could blame me for being so confused that day? Her father was an exact copy of mine, except without the beard.
Way now.
And while the 5 pieces celebrated a new factory, farmhands did the real work. It's a fluke there's a picture of my father at all, but there he is in the background. The 6th 5-piece. Patsy returned, and things got complicated for Elias. She fought for my freedom, from a life she deemed unworthy.
I didn't find this. I don't know about this. So I didn't find this one.
Elias relented, so long as I never learned the truth or receive inheritance. They knew I'd help my father. At Elias's will reading, I learned part of the truth. The rest I learned at home. My father made me stay silent. He was worried history would repeat, and that his grandchildren would become outcasts. His fears weren't unfounded. As you know, my son Ernie died a few years ago. He had trained to take over as president. But due to family politics, or perhaps hubris, it went to Guy. A real Roottrees. He nearly ruined the company. When Ernie took over, he saved the operation. Over 13 years, he made the family billions. Ernie earned about $36. They got by on Debbie's salary, but when he fell ill, he couldn't pay his medical bills. His death was my tipping point. Originally, my book was meant to expose Elias's hypocrisy. Until I started to look into the other dirty laundry. Ron tried to have Robbie removed from the trust.
Figured that out.
Couldn't. Robbie was a blood relative, even out of wedlock. That sounded familiar. The Clancid Trust that Elias established was designed to secure his family's future. His entire family's future. He couldn't write exceptions in without the whole thing falling apart. My book can definitively prove that Elias was not the paragon of virtue he's heralded as. And that my daughter and granddaughters are just as much family, at least in the eyes of the Trust, as anyone else. The Clancid Trust will secure their future. They can decide what to do with their shares. But I'm old, and I'm not in it for the money. The truth has been eating away at me for years, but now I can set the record straight, thanks to you. As someone who enjoys searching for the truth, you might understand the power it has. Whitewashing the past to protect the status quo can lead to repercussions in the present and future. I appreciate what you've done for me. You uncovered enough to make a strong case. If and when the truth is fully accepted, my share of the Clancid Trust is yours.
All right.
Looking at the family tree on your wall, now with my father's, everything finally feels complete. Unless a whole lot more Roottrees somehow appear from thin air. This is the last time I'll come knocking.
All right.
Thanks again, and so long.
Can I find John Miller now? That book? All right. And a new president took over the company. The Roottrees family faded from the news cycle. And then everything changed. There's another mystery to solve. Roottrees Mania is now unlocked as a new game. Back to main menu. I'm a secret Roottrees. Can I continue and see if I can get John Miller's name? Okay, I can. So this is the... Oh, they put it in for me. Do I have the evidence now? The book? It was Patricia Christensen. I never searched for her. It was a steel company. A World War II history page you find a contribute to the war effort by France. See, this is what I missed. Are both mentioned in a book review for Steamy Correspondence by Tina Angelina. Alright, Steamy Correspondence. Copy. It's the book of the history letters with an ironic twist. Each letter is accompanied with the context from the book's authors. A letter from the book has been added to your pages. Alright, it's John in here. In 1934, someone who goes by Patch wrote a letter full of innuendo to an unknown gentleman who it is clear she had a romantic history with. Patch is thought by the book's author to have been Patricia Christensen, a daughter of the owner of Christensen Seal. Her nickname was Pat, and Ch were the first two letters of her last name, and Patricia Christensen was known to appreciate wordplay like this. Patricia, who would have been in her mid-20s when the letter was written, was married to an older man of notable status. This letter was definitely not to him. And there are also a few passages after the steamy bits that mention a daughter, leading to Tina Angelina to theorize that this letter was written to the father of a child she hid from society in some way. The letter ends on a mention of a twisted twin. This seems to evoke imagery from classic literature. If not for her story, yours and mine would be the most tragic tale ever told. How awful it is that such beauty was ripped from its rightful fate, and worse, sent to live in possession of your brother's twisted twin. Where's John's name? Left an outcast, forced to live a life of labor under a wicked relative. It's like something from the start of a children's fable. She deserves not the life he has been sentenced to. I can't stand to be apart from you both. Someday I shall return to you, and I pray that he has not corrupted her to know his sins. I swear that on that joyous day, with all of the strength I can muster, I will fight for our child's freedom. Let us pray her fable has a happy ending. Tina has no theory for what more cryptic parts of that mean. Ugh. Okay. How am I going to find John Miller? I have no leads. That was my only lead. I can click it again. Oh, I can play it again. Oh, maybe I'll cut this out.
So, you thought... That's exact... I'm xamn. My book tells... Not by... By now. Lauren. My father... At age... Back then. The same... They try... We were saying...
I don't know where the name John comes from.
Who? And what? It's a... Patsy.
Right.
My...
Blah, 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 blah.
What? They go... Oh, rock... That... My... And... The... As... What? So... And... Look... Thank...
Well, if you figured out where John's came from, probably some offhand remark. Okay, skip this. Right, skip. Alright. I guess Rootree Mania is next. But that's it for this episode. Where was John Miller's name? That's the big mystery.